Hey, Justin,
Yes,
you want to record a podcast?
kind of. We're already recording.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Well, hell, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Friday, everybody.
It is.
It's the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The weekend is upon us.
And it is Dreamy Friday.
Dreamy Friday. Should we have like an intro, like a music intro, just like super surreal, like angels playing a harp sort of?
As long as I don't have to sing, I don't give a shit.
Cool. We'll work on that later. Anyways, it is I, your host, Gavin.
And I, Justin.
And we have... Okay, so I gotta be honest with you. This is completely a solicited fan request.
And
As in, I solicited our fan and listener and guest, actually, last week, Derek. And, yeah, I was like, yo, dog, do you have a Track Daily crush? Because he likes giving us Track Daily crushes. It's fun to interact with him. And so he did. And let me actually list off. I know what the cars are, but I want to list off how he had them sorted. So he called it 90s GT V8 sports boats.
pretty
Right?
specific, yep.
Okay, so we have Lexus SC400, which was effectively the Supra, but Lexified, and it had the 1UZ from the LS400.
The NA
shoved up.
motor.
Huh?
The NA motor.
Yeah, the one that just runs forever. Mm-hmm. So it has that. And then, actually, fun fact, when Toyota took the Supra racing, you know how, like, people say, like, oh, the fucking 2JZ is the best thing ever, it's the most robust, can handle 1,000 horsepower, whatever. Guess what they used when they went racing?
1UZ.
Yeah. The 2JZ was so good, they used the 1UZ when they went racing. So there's that. There is the BMW 840 Ci, which also, that was a 4-liter V8, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would be a 4.2, I believe.
BMW made a 4.2?
At some point. Let me pull
They
it.
had a 4.4, and they had eventually had a 4.8.
So the 840 Ci 4.4.
That
was it.
That makes more
4.4.
sense.
Yep.
And then last, some could call it least, the Jag XK8s. Since I kind of gave that much of an intro, I'm just going to head into it and give you my answers. I would crush the Jag because I don't see much of a redeeming quality, really, with that. It's going to break because guess what? It's a Jag.
Yep.
It's not going to be as sporty as the BMW, and I don't think it looks that great. So I would crush the Jag, and I'm just going to go super predictable and typical and daily the Lexus and track the 840 because that BMW, the chassis tuning is going to be there. And also just imagine an endurance race with that thing.
Oh, yeah.
With the pop-up headlights up. That would just be the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then daily the Lexus because it's a 1,000,000-mile engine.
Oh,
just
yeah.
fucking runs. Just make sure you put ATF in the power steering pump,
Yep.
and you're good.
Yeah, and actually, ironically, my parents' Sequoia actually has the later derivative of that same engine,
Oh, nice.
the 2UZ FE,
Oh, cool.
which, as far as their V8s go, is right up there. As far as the truck V8s goes, right up there, heralded with the 1UZ as being, since it's
Just runs forever.
yeah,
So there's someone in New Zealand. So you and I were talking about Miata swaps and stuff like that. There is someone in New Zealand that 1UZ swapped their Miata.
jeez,
That would be a riot.
that's great.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of swaps that aren't cliche.
I mean, there are swaps that are cliche for a reason.
I get
LS is being strong and light and easy to make power.
oh yeah, I totally get the ease of use factor.
Sure, and like when there are kits for something that are cohesive and that makes sense,
Yep.
there's a reason why they exist. But
Oh yeah.
there is always that interesting like shove a Jag V6 in a Miata or a 1UZ V8 in the Miata or there was someone, it was a SEMA car, I think, but it was a car that actually drove and drove well. Someone put a Coyote V8 in a Cayman. Yeah. They had like the Boss 302 like intake and stuff.
You know what? I just thought of something that I want to do just to piss you off if I had fuck you money.
What, LS swap a Porsche?
4BT Cummins swap a Porsche.
Oh, fuck. You know what? I'm not even mad.
If I could get that to work somehow with this tall ass 4-cylinder diesel that I would not fit in the back of a Porsche at all.
Actually, well, first of all, what Porsche would you put that in?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. The problem is it would not fit in a 911 at all. It's way too tall. Like, because it's just straight up and down.
Sure.
I would
Here's what you do. You take a 924.
Oh, Jesus.
And just don't have a hood.
All I see is just this cylinder head in front of me.
Yeah. Mad Max that shit.
Or take an older 911 and just cut the body.
God. Of course you would. It would have to be mid-engine at that point. Mm-hmm. There was no rear engine there.
No. It would be total rear engine. The engine would be almost out of the car. Because on a 911, it's facing backwards. Transmission is in front versus the other direction, which is the Caymans, where it's engine front, transmission back.
Yeah.
No, it would basically be 70% rear, 30% front at that point.
At least.
At least. You'd have this big old, 4-cylinder diesel 2.8 just hanging out the back. Launch control at 2,000 RPM.
Yeah. Or 800.
Oh, that'd be great. But anyways, yeah.
Back to the 90s V8 sports boats. That's my call. It's kind of the traditional, basic, like, yeah, duh, of course you would do that.
Seeing, here's where I'm at.
The SC motor, or that 1UZ, I've heard them uncorked a bit, and they do sound really, really good, and they are really, really robust. So I could see why you'd want to make that possibly the more sporty vehicle.
Yeah. Here's my debate. I'm in agreement with you 100% on the Jag. I like the later XKs. That first gen XK was pretty. Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Like the ones that followed, like the R and the RS,
They look pretty good.
They look great. Yeah. They're fast.
Yeah, fast cars and got
the RSs were in the 500 horsepower range, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. And got some pretty high praise from people. I mean, even when Jeremy drove them,
he loved it.
Yeah. I honestly think I would daily the Beamer. And that was it's a real hard toss-up because Lexus is more...
But those aren't... I mean, well, I guess the V12s are the ones that are known to break and bankrupt people.
The 4.4 V8 of that era, which is also the same that was the base in the E39 a little later on.
And it was also in the X5.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually a different 4.4. That's a new generation.
Oh, it was a later 4.4. Okay.
Yeah. This 4.4, which was the more simple one that didn't have variable valve timing and all this crazy stuff. Because that
pre-variable valve timing motors and like pre-Vanos cars are just like so much better.
Yeah. Because those came in past that generation. Like that motor is pretty robust. There's as long as you're just maintaining it normally, it's probably one of the best engines that BMW made as far as like dependability and reliability go. But anyways, although that like overall the Toyota would be the Lexus, my bad, would be far more reliable and predictable. There's no doubt about that, just based on the fact it's not a German overpriced luxury barge. I do also have to think that I would probably rather daily that one, like as far as just comfort wise.
Daily what?
The BMW.
You would think that BMW would be more comfortable as a daily than a Lexus?
Kinda, yeah.
Explain.
To me, where like Lexus of the 90s always lacked, is things just don't feel as solid. They're well made, but they still seem to deteriorate much quicker. And my apologies, that was my phone slipping off my lap.
I have to disagree with you on that. I have been in some Lexus vehicles recently. Not just Andrew's LS400.
Yeah.
But also, shout out to Randall Peralta.
Because he has an SC, right?
Yeah, I've driven his SC.
Yeah.
And Derek also has an SC, and there's some other friends of mine that have SCs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, it feels like an LS400. It feels. I mean, there's a lot of shared parts with that car, but I don't know. Like for a car, I mean, I can't even remember what the mileage it was on those cars, but they're mid 90s.
Yeah, they were not low mileage examples.
No, they weren't exactly poverty spec, but they were, I mean, they're 20-year-old cars. They didn't seem that aged really to me.
No, and it's comparatively speaking to other cars of the era, no, they don't. They still hold up much better than most of the average Joes. To me, I'm just comparing, like, I've driven a couple...
I feel like they've aged better than BMWs, though.
Oh, yeah, the 8 Series, you can definitely tell it was a product of the 90s. There's no question, especially on the interior, as far as design and whatnot.
So what are you getting at exactly, then?
I just, as a daily, I prefer that, the
Lexus won't rattle like a BMW would. I don't think it would.
That era of BMW rattling wasn't that bad. I've driven several of those 840s, like that spec, because we'd have them in at Wofford's occasionally.
I haven't driven 840s, but I am fairly confident in Lexus's build quality. Especially of that era.
I'm confident in both build qualities, actually. I don't think there'll be rattles really in either one overall. I just prefer the feeling of the German car as a daily. Mainly, just overall, it literally has nothing to do with like rattling or things like that. It's just, it feels more solid. It doesn't feel quite as flimsy because it is heavier. It is a little bigger. Not platform-wise, but just, everything's a little more overbuilt in that German way.
Okay. I'll give you
which
that.
I'm going to bet you, let me look up here just for the fun of it, I bet you the SC's lighter. So let's see.
I've never really given the 840 much of a thought.
It's an interesting car. It's not a track car. Not at all a track car. It is
None
big.
of these cars are.
None of them are. But, I mean, it is...
The 1UZ would give you fewer issues on track.
That was my other thing.
Because it will just run.
Mm-hmm. It will just take it like a champ. The BMW would have to be pampered along on track more so.
Yeah.
In daily, that's more what it's built to do is just...
Cruise.
Mm-hmm. Let's
Blast
see.
freeways. I mean, that's what all these cars are for.
In the end, yeah. Let's see.
Wait, you Google one, I'll Google the other.
Okay, I've already got the SC400 done. Oh wow, that's really light actually.
What year?
So the 19. Oh no, that's the 300. Hang on. 3604.
Like we're talking 95.
That's a 92, but that first gen went from 91 to 2000. So you're pretty. You're right smack dab in the middle of the range.
Curb. Wait. How much? And I want to confirm it's a 400, not a 300.
Yes, 400 is 3604 with the automatic.
46?
36.
Yeah.
I told you, BMW
This
is
is
going to be
4167.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah.
That's leading into the second reason. Like, I prefer that stouter feel on the road in regular driving.
Road hugging weight.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what that BMW is. It is a fat car that is really meant for that road, even more so than the other ones.
Yeah.
And I just think that with a little bit of a setup, I think the Lexus would perform far more admirably on the track. Not just from reliability, but from potential.
But actually, performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. Especially with fucking being 500 pounds lighter.
Yeah, to start with, let alone what you could do with weight reduction. You could probably,
I'm sure, I feel like there is more weight to take out in the
it still does have leather seats and all this other stuff. I bet you.
I mean, they all do. That's the point of them.
Mm-hmm. I bet you could get that SC down to like 32, 33 with some good lightweight seats and taking out the rest of the interior and
sound deadening
and all that, and a lightweight exhaust and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And at that point, it'd be a pretty decent track car just to have fun with.
Sure.
The BMW, I don't think you're ever getting anywhere down below like 38 or 37. Like,
really? If you strip that out?
The weight with those cars is just the sheer chassis. Like,
Okay.
just the thing is huge.
I don't know anything about them, so I'm genuinely asking.
They're pretty fat cars. Like, let's see if there's even a size difference. So,
You
on
look
the
up
S,
Lexus.
I got it right here.
Wait, what dimensions are you looking up?
Just like
Actually, I'll just go to like a Wikipedia page so I can just read off it.
yeah, wheelbase, like length, width, and height. So just overall dimensions of the vehicle, first generation.
Yeah. So wheelbase is 105.
105.9. So
105.7.
yeah, so more or less the same.
Length is 188,
Oh, interesting. That's actually shorter.
and width is 73.
And then it's 3.5 inches wider.
Yeah, there you go.
There's your fat boy stance.
Well, I mean, more stable, better turn in, or harder turn in.
Yeah, potentially.
I have a curb weight of 4,090 to 4,300. 4,300 is definitely the V12.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah.
But either way, still north of 2 tons. Whereas this is, 1 3/4 tons, which is actually not that bad.
It's really not.
Especially considering the fact you're still getting leather and wood and all that. But yeah, and I think that's where I would stand. I think the Lexus would just honestly, in more ways, perform better on track than it would on the road. And the BMW, I think mainly the main thing was it just would not perform on track as well as it the potential wise.
Interesting.
Because again, there's no doubt that the Lexus would be more reliable in either situation. It's just a Lexus. It's a Toyota. It's 1UZ.
This runs.
It's just going to go. But being that that's the case, I would rather deal with the BMW on the road in the environment it was built to be in
No, that makes total sense.
than deal with it on the track in the environment it was never intended to be in. Whereas the Toyota would, still perform in both.
You do know that there were Alpinas made of the 8 Series?
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no, I
they're-
think I've seen
The
some.
B12 is what it's called. Yeah, the V12 engine bored out to 5.7 liters, along with the modified intake, crankshaft, camshafts, and a stainless steel exhaust, as well as a 6-speed manual. Hey. Made 412 horse, 0 to 60 in 5.8, and top speed of 300K.
That's a gorgeous car. I actually really like BMW coupes of like 95 to like 85 to 95.
Oh, yeah.
Because especially I also like the it's the E24s too, the 6 Series.
Mm-hmm. So my buddy Richard, that was his first ever car, was a 635 CSI. Like we would
Have
mob
you
around
seen
the
the
high school and that
Alpinas?
shit.
Like just
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shark nose.
gorgeous cars. But yeah, no, that's definitely where I would stand on those three. Sorry, Jag. Despite the fact that I love odd things, despite you giving me shit about
Liking things just because they're odd and different and irreverent.
it's more than that. They have to at least have some substance to them. That Jag just
Yeah.
has no substance
Just
to me.
yeah, it doesn't have any redeeming qualities
Sadly, no.
like over the other ones.
It really doesn't.
If it was an XJ,
Yeah, if it was an XJ, the irony is
if it was a sedan, be like fuck yeah.
the
taking
X.
that.
So the XK of that era was brand new chassis, brand new engine, brand new everything. The XJ of that era
Had
was
gone
still a product of the 70s,
70s, yeah.
and
Well, actually late 60s.
and wasn't officially finally killed off until the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, I believe that chassis started in 68, 67.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
I've driven Sasha's. If you listen back to Tuesday's episode, my buddy Sasha that I've known for the past 15 years, he drives a Miata. He's selling his Honda Accord, but he and his family inherited from an estate of a family friend of theirs who passed away. a 19, I believe it's a 72 XJ6
Yeah.
that is painted from the factory in what's known as pink heather, which is this wild looking, very 70s. It's pink. It's just straight up pink.
Yeah.
And I drove that actually when Everyday Driver did a fast blast of it. I drove it back from where we were shooting back down to Salt Lake. And yeah, a lot of play in that wheel. There's a lot of input in both steering and in brakes and just all your inputs. There's just a lot that's required of it. But, you know, it's a super clean car, though. It won an award at a car show in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual, like, metal, like a steel or silver plate, like a plaque.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what those cars are. That's where I think the XK8 to me went wrong, is those cars were originally according to Richard Lyons, Jaguar, one of the Jaguar main head honchos back in the day, was they were supposed to be about space, pace, and grace.
Yep.
And to me, the XK8 literally didn't have any of those.
No.
It wasn't spacious, it didn't have a good pace, and it didn't look graceful. It
probably didn't drive that gracefully either.
Yeah, I haven't driven that Jaguar of that era, but I've driven one of its cousins, the X-Type, or I can't remember if it was the X-Type or the S-Type, whichever one wasn't the Taurus derivative.
They're both terrible.
They both are, yeah. I just can't. Whichever one wasn't derived from the Taurus platform.
I want to say the S-Type was, so it's probably the X-Type.
It was the X-Type because it was still a longitudinal V8 rear-wheel drive.
Right.
Yeah, still horrendous. But basically, similarly shared interior and drivetrain and ick.
All yuck. All bad.
Those were dark times.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, on to brighter things. The weekend is here. Let us know if you have any fun plans.
I'm going to be driving a Stinger, and I'm very happy.
Nice. I might try to drive somebody's car this weekend. I'm not telling you who, because I don't want to share it.
I know. You're a dick.
Yep. Takes one to know one.
Yep. No, I don't think I have any, besides meeting up with our buddy Andrew and getting my Stinger fix.
Shout out Andrew Casey on Motoring United.
I don't think I will be doing anything else car related except for just working, so.
Yeah. I don't think I have any. I'm not working this weekend.
Well,
Yeah.
cool. Now that we've established that we're boring people.
Yeah, man. I mean, fuck, dude. Well, actually, hold on.
Oh, boy.
Well, I just gave you a bunch of video files. I just gave you some homework.
Well, yeah.
Justin is cutting together, or will be cutting together by the time you hear this. He's hopefully currently cutting together our MULA video, because I'm kind of burnt out on car videos for the year. I'm kind of done. Actually, do you want to wrap this up, or do you want to keep talking for a little bit?
I would say probably wrap it up. I'm tired as fuck.
You're tired as fuck? Okay.
And I got a 35-minute drive home still.
All right. Well, we'll save what I wanted to say for another day.
Hooray for spacing things out.
Yay, pacing. Anyways, happy weekend. Let us know if you have any fun plans, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop. Until next time, I've been Gavin.
And I've been Justin.
And this has been the Exhibition of Speed podcast.